Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. My name's Jeremy Hagema, and today we're going to change out the power cord on my 1990 Gottlieb Silver Slugger. Now, why would I change out the power cord? The machine works, doesn't it? Yeah, works really good. But when I received this game, the end of the power cord had been replaced by a temporary end. I don't know, they're not really called temporary ends, but I like to call them temporary ends because I keep them temporary. I really prefer the molded on plug. And just to show you, this is the end that's on it. Now this isn't really dangerous. You know, you plug it into the wall. If you don't trip over it or try to yank it out of the wall by the plug, you'll be fine. Seems to be crimped on here pretty good. But let's say it isn't. If you were to yank this out, one or more wires could pull out, and this is a grounded pin, so it would probably ground it. It'd probably be okay. But I just don't like that. It's just one of my things. Especially since I know how to do it, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a job, especially on this machine, and we'll show you how to do it. Now, to start out with, I'm going to take a tip from Mark's Basement Arcade. Normally what I like to do is I will buy a cord from Pinball Resource. They've got some really awesome flat cords for EMs that I love. They're like 14 feet long, allows you to run it through the game quite a bit and have quite a bit coming out the game. And you don't have to use extension cords, because that is kind of a no-no with pinball machines to use extension cords, because you get voltage drop and all that kind of stuff. But I went to Walmart today and I picked up a suitable cord. This wasn't that much money, like $12, something like that. Now this says 15 feet, which is a little bit excessive, but what I will do is I will maybe have it 10 feet or something like that, and then I'll make a little shorty extension cord. And I know that kind of goes against my saying of using temporary ends on this, but I'll end up having a little jumper cord that I use just for temporary stuff. But if we take a look at this, this has got a nice quality molded end on it with a ground pin. So that's my goal. And yeah, if you really want to be fancy, you could get a green one or a red one or a white one, and yeah, maybe that'd look great with your game. I don't know. But let's pop open the hood. We'll see how this is hooked up, and this doesn't take long. We'll change it out. Okay, to start off with, we're going to obviously get this out of the way. Pull off my dust cover, and we will open the door here, and there is a catch on the inside, and this lockdown bar comes off. And then what I like to do is I will close up the catch, and we will remove the glass. Slides right out. And we'll set it aside in a safe spot so it doesn't smash and go all over in 100,000 bits. On these eras of Gottlieb's, they have a playfield latch, or the latch for the lockdown bar also locks down the playfield. So if I leave it locked, I can't pull up this game. And with it unlocked, I can't close the coin door, which that's meant to be like that, so you can't leave it unlocked. But we'll just raise up the playfield here, and if a ball comes out, I'm actually okay with it, because, you know, Silver Slugger. But that's okay. Just keep my finger over it just in case. Alright. Alright, I've got the playfield up. I may end up pulling the playfield out, which isn't that big of a deal, because the connection point on this particular pinball is right in the very back. So let me investigate that just a quick second, and I'll be right back. Alright, I brought in another light here. Hopefully you can still see this. This is actually going to be incredibly easy. We have got a 2-position connector here that I should be able to put on some other wires. Otherwise we could just chop these off and do some sort of butt splice or something like this, and then we've got a third wire that goes to a ground, and then here we've got our strain relief, which I'll show you a little closer when I get that out of there. But let me disconnect this, and obviously it's unplugged, but we'll show you what the rest of it is. I should be able to even just push on this catch. This one has a little catch there. Boom, that was easy. 2 pins disconnected. I gotta disconnect this and disconnect that guy, and we'll pull it out, and we'll try it out. Alright, like I said, that was incredibly easy to pull out. This is the view from inside the game. There is 2 studs coming through here, and several ground straps from the game going in the bottom and the top, so I just had to loosen the nut, pull off the ground straps, and this was on the top here, and that's what we're left with. This is the strain relief, so if somebody pulls on the cord, it won't pull out here. There's our connector that we got, and I think I'm gonna, if I don't have a pin like this, I'll probably just do a butt splice or something like that. I may not have the correct pins for this, or I'll chop it here and butt splice on this end of the connector, so we still got a connector on there. But regardless, the strain relief, how these are removed is you have to squeeze this, and this one looks pretty loose, but you got to squeeze this. So I got my pair of pliers here, and we will try to squeeze this and unlock it. So you squeeze it, and then in this case it pushes back this way. Oh, that was too easy. There we go. And how this comes apart, so we just pull on it, comes out like that. This one is actually broken. It's supposed to be just this little strap here is part of it, but it's not needed when it's in use. And then you can see what that does to the cable. It just kind of pinches it in there. So let me figure out our total length, and we'll get our new cord over here and give it a chop chop. Here's my new cord. Undo these typical black twist ties on here. This is a pretty good quality cord. It doesn't really matter too much what your ratings are on it, as long as you feel it's heavy and duty enough for what you're doing. I'm going to cut this thing off. I hate this long strap doodad. I would have liked a more premium cord, but I wanted to get this done, and this will certainly be acceptable for this. Alright, so let me measure out the old cord here with my new cord, and we'll see what I'm left with. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, I was happy with the length of this cord, so I'm going to chop it right here. And now this is what I'm going to make into an extension cord. But that's just for something else, something I like to have around. Certainly not for use outside. Alright, so the old cord is ready to throw away. We don't care about it anymore. It's dead to us. Alright, so the new cord, we'll get the old side of it off here. Here we're left with end here. And I suppose I'll need a little bit. I should probably figure out how much cord went off of here. So we'll figure that out. And nothing wrong with leaving a little extra, so we'll put our strain relief right about there. We'll feed our cord. Actually, we won't want to feed our cord. This one's actually a little backwards of how I might do it. But hey. Alright, so here's the strain relief. Just goes in there like that. The other piece, even though it's no longer held on here, which is not a problem, just fits back in here. We got to give it a good squeeze here. Alright, that looks pretty good. And this guy just fits back in here like this. Alright, and then it's locked in position. Not a real fan of how this is, but it's the way it came. I actually could flip it around, because ideally you want it to be harder to pull out of here. I think I'll flip it around. Get this off of here. Sorry about that. Alright, let's see. So in that case, I've got to put this guy on first. And we'll slip this guy in. Give her another good squeeze. Might not look as pretty from the backside, but it is much. It'll be impossible to get that thing to slip through the other way. Alright, there we go. And there we go. This is how it'll look in the game. And when pressure is applied from the outside, it'll be locked in. Alright, so the next thing to do is cut this back. I like to use a razor blade or X-Acto knife to do this, just because it's real fine work. What I do is I will bend the wire over and very carefully cut just the outer layer of it. You don't want to cut the wire on the inside at all. Because this is not a super duper heavy extension cord or power cord, it doesn't really have much strain relief built into it. So this outer jacket comes right off. We've got our 3 wires here. Green is the ground. We'll tie that back, because this cord will end up going back here with a little crimping. So in looking at this connector, I do not have the correct pins for it. They're kind of a squared off pin. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably do like a butt splice on here. I'll chop these wires. We'll do a butt splice on here. Let's do that instead. I'll just do a butt splice on all 3 wires. That's just the easiest. That way we've got the connector on here. And that way we can be sure the white is correct and the black is correct. This is my handy dandy vice grip wire strippers. It works pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with it. Operation is pretty simple. You put in the wire to the stop, which is adjustable. And then there you go. Put it in here, squeeze, wire is stripped. Works really good. We'll take our old wires, which are in good condition. It's nice to see copper wire there, at least it appears to be copper. If I need these a little longer, I will certainly do that. Sometimes they get a little stuck in there. Okay, I've got these butt splices here, which happen to have a sealing surface on it. In this application, we're not really too worried about that. Certainly the factory wasn't with theirs, because there's no sealing on there. But yeah, this will work good. We'll get some good connection on there. Now, just like anything, there's always multiple ways to do this. I could solder these wires and heat shrink them. There's nothing wrong with that. I could use wire nuts, which is not the best for in a vibration extreme environment like a pinball machine, but it is possible. So yeah, there's all kinds of ways. Alright, let's see here. We will put this in the crimper. Give her a good crimp. We'll test fit it. We'll give it a good hard tug. This is the green wire, so we'll put this right over here. And we'll just give it another good crimp here. Squeeze it good and tight. Give her a good hard tug. Make sure it's really strong. Alright, let me do my other 2 here. Alright, everything is crimped here. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus here. There we go. I've got good crimps. And something I learned a long time ago, I don't always remember to do it, but When you're doing double crimps like this, one on each end, more of a professional approach, and it's not really needed, is to have them at the same angle, not like, you know, crimp it here and there, but not here and then turn the tool and go like that. But that's just a little thing I happen to remember on this one. This one I didn't get it quite right, and this one I wasn't even paying attention. But okay, since these are heat shrink, we'll heat shrink them. Let's get the tool out and you can watch that. Alright, here's my fancy schmancy Harbor Freight heat gun. We're gonna heat these suckers up and you'll watch them shrink over the wire. When I can see that it kind of looks like it's melted around the wire, it's not really melted, but it changes how it looks. My thumb's getting a little hot here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what the one end looks like when it's properly heat shrunk. So we can see the color of the wire, the black, kind of all the way through. Whereas on here, we can see, you know, there's still air in there because this hasn't been heated up yet. Same thing with the white wire. So it just kind of gives you, you know, an idea what to look for. And this also provides a mechanical security on it. Alright, let's heat up the other wires. It's important to kind of move the heat around a bit. Now that the heat gun's been on for a while, this is going quicker. Hey, you can really see it on the white one there. And this is ready to go back into the game. Here we are, back at it again. Let's see if we can shed a little more light on this. Let's toss a light into the game. Yeah, it might help out a little bit. Alright, so we got this big hole in the back here. It's super easy to feed this cord through. And we'll just hook it up the way it was before. Put our ground straps carefully back on. Hook our ground wire back up to here. We got a little bit more cord in the game now, but that's okay. Let's see here, see if we can get this ground cable back on properly. That looks pretty good. Alright, let me take a look. Yep, all the ground cables are connected. Okay, we had a washer on the top one here. I don't believe we had a washer on the bottom one. Grab the nut driver. Tighten this back down. This is a very important safety connection. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to try tightening that bottom one a little more. There we go. Alright. Hook back up our power cable. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Clicks back in. And if this interferes with the playfield, I can always zip tie it out of the way. Just shove it back there. That'll work. This is our main fuse for the game right here, just in case something catastrophic could happen. Alright, let's lower it back down, plug it in, and see how it works. Alright, it is the moment of truth. First power on since replacing that power cord. Let's hit the power switch. Alright, guess what? We are ready to... play ball! Play ball! Thank you very much for watching. Hope you check out my live streams and check out the rest of our videos. Have yourself a great day.